Hi, my name's Andy Thornley. I'm the chairman of the UK Junior Doctors Committee of the BMA. I'm a cardiology registrar from the northeast of England. I'm talking to you today about a campaign that the BMA Junior Doctors Committee is about to launch about our current contract. What we're aiming to do is to maximise the benefits for junior doctors of the contract that we have at the moment. All junior doctors in the UK will be receiving a brochure through the post in the near future. I'd just like to explain why we're launching this campaign. Now, as a junior doctor myself, I know that our current contract is less than perfect. I think it's important, though, that we do make the most of what we have in the current contract and that junior doctors get what they deserve in terms of the benefits that are in the contract that was negotiated several years ago. We know that there are problems with our current contract. We know increasingly that Foundation Year 1 doctors are working on unbanded salaries, and this clearly isn't satisfactory, particularly when we know that medical students are coming out of university with upwards of £20,000 worth of debt. We also obviously know about the implementation of the European Working Time Directive. More and more junior doctors are going to be working 48 hours or less, and increasingly some of the stipulations in our current contract aren't going to be relevant anymore. So we think now is the time really to make the most of what we have got in our current contract, make the most of the monitoring and banding requirements that are set out there, and make sure that junior doctors get what they're owed. The Junior Doctors Committee of the BMA has had policy for a long time about negotiating a new contract. Now, in the current economic climate, we know that this is going to be a problem. Realistically, negotiating a new contract will take several years. At the moment, we're not in negotiations. We're trying to get into negotiations, but we're not. So realistically, we don't see a new contract being on the table at least until probably 2011 or 2012 at the earliest. This means it's vital to make the most of what we can do out of our current contract, and that's why we're launching this campaign.
One of the key things that we'd like to achieve from the campaign is to make sure that juniors have the advice and the help that they need in areas that they have difficulties with. Now, the key areas that we'd like to focus on during our campaign are particularly issues such as banding and rebanding, how to make sure that your rota is monitored, but also to look at study leave and training, whether it be flexible training or your work-life balance. We'd also like to take into consideration issues such as on-call accommodation and indeed accommodation for junior doctors as a whole, as well as travel and relocation expenses, tax issues for juniors and pensions. Now, obviously, the campaign covers a lot of areas, and that will be running from February to May. And initially, the areas that we discuss will be running over 2-week intervals. The campaign will be running through video clips that are available to any junior doctor. However, the main guidance that will be available is primarily available to junior doctor members of the BMA. Now, obviously, there are lots of benefits available to BMA members, and this includes help and advice on the areas within the campaign, which is available through fact sheets on the website, and that includes case studies and frequently asked questions. There'll also be guidance through Ask BMA directly, and also via regional JDCs and their committee meetings. A lot of the areas involve advice but also proactiveness on the behalf of junior doctors, and there have been several success cases that we've heard about. For example, when claiming travel and relocation expenses, certainly with doctors coming together as a group, they've often claimed amounts up to £6,000. So it's certainly worth considering if there are issues in your area of work.